it is a mental thing for sure. Like let's say we're at home and we're down 20 in like the first half, and then come back in the second half and win. That just
Yeah.
shows like the togetherness of the team and
Mm.
like dirt and just battling through the adversity of maybe either the bad refs or shots not falling or they're hitting shots, stuff like that. You come back and still win. Like that's enduring. Same thing like on the road doing that against like a team that's better or worse than you or whatever. But on the road is a harder thing to do because you're away. You've never been at, you don't play, you don't practice at those gyms that often. They only get like one shoot around, maybe depending on the time. If like you play an early game, you're not even gonna get shoot around. You only got the practice the day before. Straight off the bus or something, like you just, legs sore. Laying down and sitting in a chair like nothing for the past 6 7 hours, depending on how far it is. Let's do this.
Welcome to the Unknown Options, the place where we explore the unknown options, the number one source for career apprehension and accessibility. My name is Will, and today with me, Art. Art, it's great to have you here. Give us a rundown on who you are and what you do.
I appreciate you for letting me come on your podcast and talk for sure, man. My name is Artur Labinowicz. I am from Charlotte, North Carolina. Family resides from Poland, and I'm a professional basketball player, and I'm currently playing in Poland right now.
Nice. I love it. Thank you, Art, for your time. I know it's valuable. Your journey is important. So we want to highlight the good, the bad, and the ugly. For someone who might not know, what is a professional basketball player?
Ah, man, professional basketball player is real simple. He's a professional basketball player, professional athlete. It's some things people don't get to do in their life. People play sports growing up and, they might grow out of it. And, some people stick with it for a while and then they go into a different route that still stays with the sport, things like that. But being a professional athlete or a professional basketball player in general, takes a lot of work, a lot of determination, a lot of good days and a lot of bad days. But being a professional basketball player, it's it is what it is. You just play
Yeah,
basketball professionally at a very high level, and that's what it is.
definitely.
Trying to trying to keep this thing going, trying to go to the top. Whenever my career is done, look back and say I did my thing.
Definitely. We love it. You said a lot there. Just a lot of hard work and dedication, determination. How did you get started, or what was your path to get where you currently are now?
I always grew up playing sports. I actually was a soccer player before I decided to play basketball. As a kid, being from a European family, soccer was the main thing growing up. So I played soccer all the way up to about middle school is when I kind of gave it up a little bit, got back to it in high school. And, I always played basketball for fun. I always liked it, in middle school and stuff like that. But I started taking it more serious once we got to about high school. And when I was in high school, I wasn't the best. I was always an athlete. I could shoot a little bit, but I couldn't dribble. I couldn't do nothing crazy. The plays weren't going in my head right, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And but as time progressed and the hard work and just staying in the gym, things started to things started to climb over, like that. And I am where I am now. It started in high school, went to prep school after that, and after prep school, got to college. The thing routine like that, you go build your way up, and
Nice.
luckily I'm here now playing overseas.
Nice. I love it. Is college required to play overseas?
Technically it isn't. A lot of people like if you see the NBA draft, you see a lot of foreigners like they
Mm.
just start playing professionally from like a very young age. Like you might know the name Ricky Rubio.
Yep. Yep.
He started when he was like 16,
Oh man.
and he's been playing since he was 16. He just retired from the NBA this year. You know, Ricky Rubio had a great career. He probably had some things going on. I think it was a lot of mental things, and that's a part of the game. Being a professional athlete, it takes a mental toll to be a professional athlete for sure. But like, man, I forgot what I was talking about. I ain't even gonna cap.
No, you're good. Ricky. No, you're good. You're good. You said Ricky Rubio take the toll mentally on you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Being a professional athlete, it takes a toll. Like just the ups and downs, trying to stay consistent, trying to be a professional, trying to keep the same habits, trying to be happy, try not to let the outside world affect what's going on in the basketball world. And it's really hard to like cross those lines and like, let's say something's going on here that's not good, and you got to go to this game or this practice, and you got to be a whole different person. You know, it takes a
Mm.
toll, and that's a part of being a professional athlete. You know, it's just the mental side of it is very hard. And I've talked to a few friends, and I've heard a lot of things. It's like basketball is like 100% physical, but it's almost 200% mental. Like you got to be locked in on plays. You got to be locked in on how you feel, how the people around, like what's going on like that. You got to be aware of what's going on at home. Make like some people have their wives and kids out here overseas with them. Like luckily, people in America, you know, like they'll be gone for a few days, but they'll come right back. Like us, like
Yeah.
me, like I don't come home for a long time. Like I recently just saw my mom and dad not too long ago because they flew out here because they had some business to take care of, you know.
Okay.
And I'm luckily I got a FIBA break, which is mandatory when you play basketball. FIBA basketball gives you a mandatory break for a little bit, so we got like 3 weeks off, and our team's giving us a couple of days off, and I'm flying home
Nice.
and I'm gonna see my
Nice.
mom and dad. But like those things are mandatory to help like with the mental side of stuff, like give them a break, like okay, no basketball, guys can go home, hang out with their families or go on vacation, whatever they want to do, you know, type of thing.
Yeah.
And it helps out a lot because like I said, the mental side of being a professional athlete is very tough. That is one big battle. A lot of if you see a lot of stories talking about people who have mental struggles or anxiety or depression, it's like because we've grown up like some players are A1, like
Mm.
they've been 5 stars or 4 stars, go to high major schools like Power Fives, and they're great athletes, and they're looked at like, oh, he's gonna be the next LeBron, next KD, next Kobe, Kyrie. You want to know stuff like that,
Mm.
and it's just like, how can they keep being great? You know, it
Mm.
takes a toll after a while. I don't like Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
He his stardom was crazy. Like Drake was wearing his jersey when he was like a junior in high school. It was wild. You know,
Yeah.
he was getting mad love and all the clout or whatever, you know, just mad love from people. He went
Yeah.
to Duke, like he still was doing his thing. And
Yeah.
then like one injury slowed him down just a little bit, came back, was still dominant, got to the league, another injury, you know, just
Mm.
things like that. Let's say you were playing on top of your game, like you just hooping, right? That's what we
Yeah.
say. Just hooping, you're playing well. Next thing
Yeah.
you know, you get an injury. And I don't want no injuries for nobody because I've had my fair share of injuries. I've had my little setbacks where I've had I've only had 2 surgeries, luckily, knock on wood. You know,
Yeah.
I've thankful for no major injuries, but I've had surgeries, and like when you coming back for those surgeries, it's just like, how do you get back to being what you were? You know, it takes a lot of physical work and a lot of mental work because you were just playing, and now
Yeah.
you're not, and now they're telling you you gotta. It's like an inchworm. You just gotta take it day by day, like one day better, one day they stack bricks, you know, stuff
Mm.
like that. And it it's really it takes a mental toll on your brain. Your body gets beaten up after a while. You know, you're not feeling 100%. But basketball, being a professional basketball player, for sure, the mental side of it is probably one of the biggest things that's being talked about now for sure, and it should be talked about more. Being a professional athlete in general,
Yeah.
like it takes a mental toll on a lot of us.
I love it. And I know you didn't even mention it, but probably like their social media, like trolls is a whole other aspect. Like, you know,
So like I'm Polish, and like people like they don't know what real Twitter. I mean, they got Twitter.
Yeah.
They Twitter people are, Poland's getting
Yeah.
better. You know, they're starting to get more urban and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like I can see what they're tweeting. I see what they're saying, and I read it. Like I can't read Polish, so I got to use Google Translate.
Mm. Okay.
So I speak Polish. That's about it. So I'm like one of those weird Polish people who just speak it and read it. But
Yeah.
I make my way around the city and I make my way around the restaurants. I'm fine, you know. But
Nice.
like I see what they say. I see what they're talking about, and I'm just like, all right, cool. Like I'm waiting. I'm just waiting when like things start getting like I just got to a new team. You know, I was just with an old team. I wasn't getting as much reps. I wasn't getting as much playing time, and like I saw what they were saying. I'm just like, man, if only y'all knew. If I could just get a little more of a rhythm, things
Yeah.
gonna get crazy. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm really good at basketball, dog. I'm a very humble guy when it
Yeah.
comes basketball, and I'm very nice, and that's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. So, hey, when it starts clicking, it gets real ugly for some people. So I'm on a new team. We're trying to get back on the win streak, and that's why I'm here to help this team build and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm just getting into a groove, and it's just getting better and better, just stacking days, one day by day, game by game. And it's just hopefully these next couple months that I'm here can help me transition, and I can tell those trolls or people
Yeah,
back home, like, hey, like I'm the real deal. Like
definitely,
I'm not what y'all think I am. I'm a lot better than what it looks like.
definitely. Yes, sir. Let us know, like, you said you started taking basketball seriously once you got into high school. You were playing soccer before that and during that. When did you were like, okay, I'm gonna play professional? Like, when did that like come to your head? Or
And I'm not even gonna lie to you, dog. School was not my thing. I feel like every athlete like that. Some athletes just go to school and they get their degree, masters, all this stuff, and like they do the thing. Like they
yeah,
take advantage of the full ride. They take advantage of all that for sure. I mean, I
yeah,
took advantage. I got my degree for sure,
yeah,
but I hated school. I hated going to class. I hated doing this. Like, I mean, I hated it. Like I was just straight up jock. Like I was a college jock. I just went to school. I did my part, and I went and I looked forward to playing basketball or playing soccer or whatever I was doing in high school. At the time, and at
yeah,
the college, like it's a thing. Like we go there to play basketball. Like I didn't come here to get my degree for real, but hey, I'm here. I'm gonna do it anyway.
yeah.
So I know my mom is happy I got my degree at least. So, but yeah, man, just being an athlete in college, that's the main thing. Getting a degree and stuff like that.
Perfect. Do you kind of look at like the NIL? Like, were you weren't in school when the NIL like
Well, it's
came forth?
crazy. NIL. So like, COVID was a wild time. It was a
Mhm.
very wild time when things came up, and I transferred. And before they switched the rule, I transferred schools to another Division 1 in Indiana, and I had to
Okay.
sit out 1 year. Right, so that's how I got my degree. I had to sit out 1 year, and the year I played, I got my degree that year. And
Mhm.
because of COVID, I got 2 extra years.
Oh man.
And if I would have stayed in college, and let's say I went to wherever, and then after that I went to wherever again, if I didn't like that school, like the NIL just started that last year. I could have went like high major, and could have
Yeah.
got crazy bread, because the high majors be giving out bread to like these players, man. The stories you be hearing like about Bryce Young when he was in Alabama was making like
Yeah.
3.8. You got Bronny who's making like 3.8. Sanders at Colorado, Deion Sanders' son, he's making like 7. And you got the little gymnastic girl at LSU making like
Yeah.
3. You got
Yeah.
Angela, is it Ange? I don't know how to say her name.
From a LSU.
Angela
Yeah.
Reese, I think you say it. She's making like 3.
Yeah.
It's like they're taking advantage of that, because you think about it. Let's say Angel Reese wants to go play in the WNBA. They're not getting paid more than like 30,000. Like the highest paid probably gets a decent amount.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're the main attraction. But like let's say a regular like player who comes in, they're making like 30 to maybe 50, and like the
And
highest pay is making maybe 100 to like 125.
they're
Son,
gonna
it's not a lot. It's like, why are you gonna leave college where you're making NIL money crazy amount, and you're gonna go play professional basketball, which is cool for sure.
yeah.
But WNBA, you're definitely not making that much bread. That's
Yeah.
why you see a lot of these WNBA ladies, they play overseas, and then once the WNBA season and summertime come, that's where they're like really locked in.
Mhm. So they put like 2 seasons back to back.
Yeah, so like the story about Brittany Griner, how she was detained in Russia,
Yeah.
playing in Russia time. Like they go overseas and they play in these top leagues overseas, and they get paid a lot more. Like they get paid a lot more, and that's how they make their money. They come over here, make some good money, go back to America. They play back at home for 3 months, however long the season is, and they make decent amount. They don't make a lot. It's not like
Yeah.
where it's buku amount of money.
Yeah.
Like, it's just giving out bread,
Yeah.
bread. Like Oh, but at the end of the day, they're professionals. There's a reason why they're getting paid that much.
Definitely.
Oh.
Is like Europe more like receptive to women athletes? Like in America, well, not everyone, but in America, a lot of people like hate like the WNBA. But is Europe more receptive to women athletes? You think?
It depends on the sport. I'm not even gonna
Mm.
lie to you. It depends on the sport. A lot from what there's a in the league I'm in. There's a women's league, but
Okay.
I don't see anything of it. I don't hear.
Mm.
I hear more about women's handball here than I hear about women's basketball. But I
Interesting.
will say volleyball out here in Europe, that is big time.
Really?
For
Okay.
real. Like volleyball, women's volleyball is big time out in Europe for sure. Like, and men's volleyball out here is crazy. Like stuff like that, things you wouldn't think of in America. Like we don't know nothing about some men's volleyball. Like there's only a handful of teams that got men's volleyball, but like they take
Yeah.
volleyball out in Europe and every other country pretty serious. Women's volleyball is big out here in Poland. Like they got one team that I think it was the team I was just previously on. There's a girls team in that city, and they've won the league 10 straight years.
Oh
They
my-
dominate. They dominate. They got like Turkish. They got a French girl, a Greek girl, a Japanese girl. They got all together
what?
in the middle of a tiny city in Poland.
What?
Run,
That's crazy.
running through the league. Like for real,
Okay.
they're one of the best for sure. But yeah, man, like the sports you think about women where they get most recognition, it's like tennis, women's tennis
Mm.
recognition. Uh, the golf isn't big out here yet either in Europe. It's not that big. I haven't seen that many golf clubs or not clubs, courses out
Yeah.
here in Poland. But like handball and volleyball, like sports you don't really think about in America, like they're big out here. Like men's volleyball is big, women's volleyball is big, handball for both sports is big. Women's
Mm.
soccer is even big out here. Like soccer out here for women,
Okay.
like you already know soccer out here anyway. It's just a
Yeah.
big,
100%.
big deal out here in Europe. So
Soccer's getting. I mean, I feel like soccer is getting bigger in especially Charlotte with the FC club they just made. So it's
bro,
getting. I mean, but it's already big. I don't pay much attention to it, but like I think everyone except me pays attention to it.
Messi's in America now, so there's a reason for people to go to those games now.
True.
Like if I remember correctly, when Messi played against Charlotte, that thing was sold out.
Yep, my brother and cousin went to that game, and they never saw a game in their life. They both went.
Like dog, people don't watch soccer going because Messi. Like
Yeah,
imagine Ronaldo decided to come to
yeah.
America. Same thing. It would be him and Ronaldo, whatever team they play on, it would go insane.
I think the U.S. is going to be like where like the old, not the old, but like the middle aged soccer players come to retire, like make like $1 billion at the end of their career.
I'm not even gonna lie. Hey, that's exactly what they would do. Like, what David Beckham? If you remember
Yeah.
David Beckham, like
Yep.
he was a stud overseas, like playing on some big time English teams,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously age catch up to you. You
Yeah.
think he started declining around like 34, right?
Yeah.
And Thierry Henry, he was a French soccer player.
Okay.
He decided to go to America. They both went to America, and they were killing it, like killing it. And they were like 35, going crazy.
I'm weak.
You see David Beckham went to LA Galaxy. LA Galaxy is probably the biggest, next to Inter Miami now because Miami.
Yeah.
So LA Galaxy, Inter Miami, and Thierry Henry, if I remember, he played for like the New York Red Bulls or something like that. Something. He played New York, I think. So
And doesn't David? He owns the Inter Miami now, doesn't he? Or he's a part owner.
yeah, he owns Inter Miami. That's probably one of the reasons why they got Messi. Like David probably called Messi, like, "Yo, you come
100%.
here, we give you whatever bread you want. Get a stay in Miami." Miami's like, if you ever been to Miami, it's very like Hispanic down there. There's like a lot of Spanish.
Yeah. 100%.
In Argentina, I'm pretty sure they speak Spanish down there. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say because I don't know.
I don't want to
me either.
like step on your toes, type of thing. But I'm almost Messi's probably in Miami, cooling it. Like they got their own areas where they speak Spanish. Like it's the same thing in Chicago, bro, in New York. Like you go into some places and like know how they got like Italian square where there's like a bunch of Italian food and stuff like that.
100%.
In Chicago, apparently there's like a little section where there's just Polish people, and like Italians. That's what
Okay.
one of my old teammates on my last team, because he's from Chicago, just like me. He's Polish American, born in America, and
Yeah.
he grew up in Chicago. I grew up in North Carolina. Like
Okay.
I haven't seen any like, hey, this area, like there's just a bunch of Polish people over here. Nah,
Yeah.
In Chicago, there's like a nice little area, apparently, where there's
Hmm.
just Polish people work at this bank, work at this McDonald's, work at this Chick-fil-A. They
I'm
just,
weak.
like all this stuff. Like it's crazy how like people still like they'll move, like they'll be immigrants, they'll come over here, get their citizenship,
Yeah.
stuff like that, and they'll build up from here. Like they
Yeah.
just try to find better work, and like in Chicago, I think there's like 2 million Polish people in that like little area.
Oh man.
I wouldn't say it's little; it's got to be huge if it's 2 million.
Yeah.
Chicago's big as hell
It
anyway.
is. Yeah. It's
So
huge. It's
like, but
huge.
in that area, there's like a lot of Polish people in Chicago. The same thing in New York. There's a little place in New York, apparently, where there's just a bunch of Polish people in this little area.
Okay.
I didn't know that for real until like this year, and I'm like I've been living under a rock or something.
Yeah. But Charlotte's like one of the only like big cities that doesn't have like little communities. Like you said, like there's like in Boston they have like Chinatown, they have like Little Italy, but Charlotte's one of the only communities that I've seen that doesn't have like a Chinatown or like you said a Little Italy. It's like
Hey,
it's dispersed.
us Charlatines, or however you want to say, I don't even know how to say that stuff. Charlotte people, we
Yeah.
ain't not big enough yet. We're on the rise. From what I hear, Charlotte's like one of the fastest growing cities in the
Yeah.
world. Like it's getting huge. Like living out there is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You still in Charlotte area?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's
It's getting bad, and they're doing a lot of building, like so they're gonna push a lot of people. Sadly, they already are pushing a lot of people out. Like Gastonia is gonna become really populated with like ex Charlotteans. Honestly,
dog. Like the west side of Charlotte, they're starting to like move
it's
those
over
people
with.
out, like getting them
It's,
out of there. Like, bro,
it's over with. It's the west side is gonna be decimated, and like they're. It's gonna Charlotte's gonna look completely different in 10 years than what we grew up in, like
the
completely
little South End area over there, dog. They started to put little skyscrapers over there. Just
different.
for what? Ain't nothing. No,
Yeah, it's
you know what they're gonna end up doing if they can't. Like I love the little Charlotte Knights like field. Like it's smack dead in the middle of Charlotte. That shit is beautiful.
yep,
I love going to those games and watching it at night. It's just awesome seeing like just the city of Charlotte right there.
yeah,
But only like if they can make that somehow bigger, you
yeah.
know, like because they're AAA. If they got a professional baseball team out there, like a legit smack, like big, they made that thing big. It would be real nice. It would be a real.
I think they said that they. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw like an article saying they're trying to sell the Hornet. I mean the Knights.
If they are, that's crazy.
And I just went to the I guess it's field for like the Christmas event. So yeah, it is nice at night. It's very beautiful.
Yeah,
But
no, I've seen that Christmas event. I thought about going, and I saw how many people were there. I was like,
yeah, it was crazy.
OD long. They said it's 45 minutes to an hour, and we close in an hour and a half. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it was insane. But okay, we gonna go to the middle of the interview, the not so speed round. We got some quick questions and see what you answer. What are 4 words that resemble a professional athlete's?
Or words represent athlete. Hard work. Hard work, determination, grit, and endure. I want to say endure.
Like endurance. Yeah,
Like because you would say endurance, like you'd say endurance to be able to go through some stuff. I'm talking about like just being able to endure everything that happens, like with the game, like being able to, oh, we got hit by 20 in the first half and come back and win the game. Oh, our big man just got hurt. How we gonna be able to maneuver now? Oh, our bus driver. We something happened with the bus. We sitting over here. We gotta wait another hour before game time. Like stuff like arriving to games later, flying time, stuff like that. That kind of that kind of enduring.
Okay,
Like,
I love it.
there's probably a better word, but endure.
No, that's perfect. And I got a question about what you just said too. Like, say you guys are down by like 20 and you come back and win the game. Like, is it like obviously you guys play better than the other team, but is it kind of like mental? Like you're like mentally stronger than the other team? Because that's like a big deficit. You know what I mean?
So that's the thing. That's the thing for sure. Depends on where you're at. You at home and you down by 20 and come back and win, definitely mental thing. If you away and down by 20 and come back, that's even crazier. You on the road, you weren't even supposed to win anyway, because technically at home, you're supposed to have the home advantage, unless the other team is just built better, our stuff. But man, it is a mental thing for sure. Like let's say we're at home and we're down 20 in like the first half, and they come back in the second half and win. That just shows like the togetherness of the team and like and just battling through the adversity of maybe either the bad refs or shots not falling or they're hitting shots, stuff like that. You come back and still win. Like that's enduring. Same thing like on the road doing that against like a team that's better or worse than you or whatever. But on the road is a harder thing to do because you're away. You don't play, you don't practice at those gyms that often.
Yeah.
They only get like one shoot around, maybe, depending on the time. If like you play an early game, you're not even gonna get shoot around. You only got the practice the day before. Straight off the bus or something, like you just legs sore, laying down and sitting in a chair like nothing for the past 6-7 hours, depending on how far it is.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like you go in there, you barely know the gym, don't know the area, you're not comfortable. It's an uncomfortable setting, depending on if they got good fans or not. Like, and you down by 20, you come back and win. Like that shows real resilience and like being able to endure and being mentally strong. Like, and you coming together as a team. Like doing that would be almost bigger than doing it at home, because at home you're supposed to win. Like home court, you got to take care of home court advantage type of thing. Going to these plays, getting punched in the mouth, you're already losing. You come back, nobody's thinking you're gonna win. It's like that. It's like those games. Was it Game 6 in Miami? Remember Game 6 Miami? Like it's not even complete. It's 20 points is a completely different thing. They were down by like 6 or something. It was like
Celtics last year.
Nah, I remember it was LeBron when he was still in Miami in Game 6. And they were in Miami. Celtics were just about, I think. No, it wasn't Celtics. It was the finals. It was the finals when they were playing the Spurs.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Right, and Ray hit the three.
Allen hit they were down like 6 points in seconds left. Like there was no way they was gonna win. Everybody's leaving. There's no way to get over. Spurs got their six championship. Like Tim got 6 now. He's tied with Kobe, whatever type of thing.
Yeah.
Just adversity, being able to endure. Like you never know what's gonna happen. Like they go down, hit a 3, come down, they got a foul, right? Yeah. Kobe, great shooter, just happens to it was Kawhi. It was Kawhi who did it. Kawhi Leonard before he was big.
Yeah.
Kawhi was the player then. He comes down, misses the first one, makes the second one. I think it's like a 4-point game. They come down, get a quick layup or something. Crazy. Somehow get a steal or something to get a stop. They're down 2. They start scrambling. Just things happen. Yeah. Just stuff happens. And they made the 3. I think it tied the game or something like that. I don't really remember exactly the scenario how it went, but everybody knows how Ray Allen made the shot. Bron shot it, missed. Chris Bosh rebound. Bosh shot to Allen corner. Bang. Bottom
hit it. Bang. Made me sick to my stomach. I'm a Celtics guy, so it made me sick to my stomach when he hit that.
You're probably supporting Spurs. I was sitting there watching the game with my brother at the bar. I'm like, what?
I was just mad because Ray left us and went to the Heat that year.
Oh yeah, no. He was there for 2 years though. He was there for 2 years, right?
I think he had left the Celtics the year before because we had we lost to the we lost in the playoffs to the was it to the Heat?
Lost to the Heat. It was in Game 7. Gave y'all 40.
And then he jumped. He jumped the next year. I was so
Like,
sick.
I mean, yeah, I remember him and Kevin Garnett were beefing for.
I think they still more him and Kevin are good, but him and Paul. But off we off topic. what's
Hey,
the what's the good, the bad, and the ugly about being a professional basketball player?
Uh, we'll start off with the bad and end with the good. The bad part is the uncertainty of everything. You come into a different country. Luckily for me, I'm Polish, so I can speak the language. I still don't know Poland as well as most people. I've been here for a few years now, so I'm good around. But like my first year, the uncertainty being here, meeting new people. My Polish isn't phenomenal. I can hold a conversation for like a couple minutes. Now I can full on talk to people, type of.
Nice.
And it's just like the uncertainty of being here. You're away from family. You're away from your loved ones. You're away from your pets. If you have any pets, like you 6 hour time difference, you gotta the first
Yeah.
couple weeks, depending on how it is. Like I remember it took me 2 weeks when I first got here, like my first time to adjust to the time zone. It was a 6 hour difference, and just the uncertainty of that. Not knowing what to eat, what's good food, what's bad food. Like Google Translate, depending on if you got service or not, isn't working.
Dang.
Stuff like that's the bad, and then the business side really kicks in and like makes things weird with basketball because us as athletes, we're playing this game because we love it.
Yeah.
But when you once you leave college and once you leave high school, stuff like it slowly starts really becoming a business. Like high school, that's really when it's just, oh, you just playing basketball, go out there, have fun. It's nothing crazy, boom, bada bing, type of thing.
Yeah.
And then you get to college, and you start seeing it. It's like a little bit of political, and it's a little bit of a business. Like, hey, like this coach, like he's getting paid to win these games, so like he's gonna play players. He's not gonna just, hey, we got this new nice freshman, but we got this senior who's also good. We're not gonna say, hey, this freshman's gonna play over this senior right away. Like he's got to
Yeah.
earn stripes type of thing. That's what happened to me when I first got to college. I thought I was gonna go in there and be, yeah, I'm gonna kill no matter what. I got slapped in the face. First got there. I remember all three of the guards that were there. All my friends, Colton, Elijah Wilson. Those were the main two really because they played ahead of me, and those are the two spots I played mainly.
Yeah.
Those two, rude awakening. Just say that it was a rude awakening. My dogs, man. We had some battles, but man, they showed me the ropes, and they said, and it was from the get go. It wasn't gonna be easy. It's a business side of things, and it's political, so like you got to work your way up. Eventually, I started playing. I started getting more playing time as a freshman because I did the little things. You got to, when it comes to basketball, if you want to play, it starts with the little things before you can start doing the wild, crazy little step backs and shooting or whatever. Take shots how
Yeah.
you want, like get more playing time. It starts with little things like playing defense, getting boards, getting the stops, steals, whatever. Doing the little things, like being a good role player before you can be the guy. And
Okay.
then once you're the guy, you're the guy. You earned your stripes, and that's how it is. And then sometimes it is unfair. Like you come in, you've earned your stripes, and a guy from maybe a high major school comes down because he has some issues or something, and he takes your minutes, and he's getting the freedom. It's just like type of thing. But that's just that's the bad side of basketball. It starts being very business like. Get overseas or you're in the NBA, it's straight up business at that point. It's not
Yeah.
even basketball. Like, if you're not winning us games, you're not giving us any like media stuff that's giving us more revenue,
Yeah.
and you're not doing nothing crazy to help us win. Like, why? Like, I'm 27. I still have dreams and aspirations. I just turned
Yeah.
20 a couple days ago. Like,
Happy belated.
yeah, thank you by the way.
What's up?
But it's like I was saying, it's just being 27, like my window's slowly slipping, but like they're not gonna be like, hey, we're gonna give this 27-year-old who's been overseas for a few years a chance over this prospect who's 18 who could learn maybe on the jump or quicker. He's a versatile, he's younger. We could give him more years instead of this 27-year-old and give him a chance. Like
Yeah.
that's what sucks. But it's a business, man. It's a
Yeah.
business. And in this life, from what I've learned from basketball, when it comes to this business, like the business side, it's about who you know.
Mm.
It's about who you know. Like unless you're coming up as a kid and you're just killing it, you're running through like you're going to Duke off the rip, like you did your part, you stayed down, somebody was in your corner helping you, keeping like, hey, you could really make something happen with this. Like somebody's in your corner and they go in right away and they playing. But like people like me who our route was just a little different. Like it's starting about who you know, and then like also what helps is if you're playing well. Like if you're playing well and you know how to get in, you get plugged in. You know, just all you need is an opportunity. That's all it is in basketball. It's all about opportunity and if you can take advantage of it. You know, so that's the bad side of basketball is just the business. It takes away from the fun. It makes it real ugly sometimes. You know.
I love it. We named it ugly and the bad. What's the good? What's the good about being a professional basketball player?
So depends on how you play. If you're overseas, man, it depends. It's where you're at. Like you're just traveling the world. You're in a different country. You get to see how people live, their culture, like what they're like, this and that. And like being in Poland, like I got to know more about my roots, like what my family's like, what they live like, what little stores were like, how they order, like how they go to get food. Like my dad's like, man, when I'm retired, like when I'm done, I'm going back, come back to Poland eventually, and I'm just probably gonna sit here and do my thing. You know, I can go to the store like legit. You can just walk outside of his home, walk down the street. There's a little like just a little store. It's got a bakery. It's got milk and eggs, got ham, all that whatever you eat, all that little stuff, little store. Like it's all in a little area. You get your little groceries, come back to the house, and just sit outside, enjoy the weather, whatever it is, you know, stuff like that. And it's just like learning that side of what my parents were like when they were growing up and like stuff like that. Learning Poland, like I got a friend who's in Portugal and like he says he loves it. He doesn't want to leave. You know, like he's like, I love it in Portugal. It's beautiful. He goes to Lisbon almost every other weekend whenever he has time.
Okay.
Like stuff like that. Like you get to see what other countries look like, what it is. Like I played Champions League basketball, so that's like if you've heard of Champions League like soccer, it's like a big deal over there. But like Champions League basketball is big, but it's still not the biggest thing. Euro League is the biggest thing. Like that's the biggest thing in Europe, Euro League for sure. But Champions League, like I got to experience what other countries are like. Like we drove to Germany. That was the only sad part. That was bad. Then our bus ride, not fun, but it was. We drove to Germany, got to see what it was like a little bit in Germany in this little town. From there, we went from Germany. We went to Greece. We went to Athens.
Okay.
That was. I wish I went with the team, but I brought my girlfriend out there with me to Athens, and like we went to go to some restaurants and stuff to see what the food is like.
Nice.
You know, I didn't know what to get. I messed up. I should have got something else. I thought lamb chops were gonna be fire in Greece. I must have went somewhere bad. So it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. But we went to some other restaurants, and my teammates we were in Athens, so they went to Acropolis.
Okay, nice.
And they went to Acropolis, and it was beautiful. I gotta get my teammates sent pictures of it and videos of what it was like. Like I was like, we should have went with them. Like all walk 10, 15 minutes up the road. We just walked across the street to go get some food. I mean, it was still nice for sure.
Yeah.
Like, go to a different country with my girl and just see what it's like. Let her experience how it is I'm playing and being in a different gym. That was also crazy, experiencing what it was like playing in Greece. Like I'm over here warming up. I'm on the bench while we're playing. I'd look up and you got dudes chugging beers and smoking cigarettes in the arena. I'm like,
oh wow.
for real? Like you smoke beer?
What?
It's crazy, dog. But it was a nice atmosphere in Greece for sure. But like you get to see stuff like that. Acropolis is like old historic. It's like something you should go see in your lifetime. Like people who play in France, they go to Paris, they go see the Eiffel Tower, like there's stuff like that. People who play in Madrid, Spain, like you see those places, London.
Yeah.
The coolest thing, I got to visit Italy and I tasted like pizza from Italy, and
how was it?
That shit was fire.
Okay, man. Nice.
I was in I think it was not Santorini, it was Sardinia. It was
yeah. It's probably Sardinia.
Yeah, it was Saucery. That's where we played.
Okay.
That was the name of the team. We played them, and I got a pizza from this like little pizza spot. It was in the middle of like a grocery store mall.
Wow.
And then I go in there. I'm like, hey, I only speak English or Polish, and they're like, they start speaking Italian. I'm like, pizza. And, stuff like that. So that was the first time I've ever experienced like a language barrier being overseas, like in a restaurant. Because I'm in Poland, I can speak a little bit of Polish and tell them what I want to eat. So
Yeah.
but like that's the good of that's one of the goods for sure of being overseas. You get to see countries, see their culture, see what it's like. Like just imagine people playing in like Japan and seeing what their culture's like, China.
True. Yeah.
Like one, you still get a bag out here. Like they still give you some money.
See, that was the next question. That was are you underpaid or overpaid as a professional athlete?
We'll get to that. I'll give you the NBA good part. Like being in the NBA, that's probably like everybody talks about. Being in the NBA, there's so many perks of being in the NBA.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I didn't even talk about EuroLeague. EuroLeague is crazy because they're starting the EuroLeague.
Mm-hmm.
EuroLeague is starting to play in just major cities in Europe.
Oh, okay.
So like, if you heard of Real Madrid, the soccer team, they got a basketball team too.
Oh,
and
really?
So does FC Barcelona. They got a basketball team as well. Like,
dang.
Like those places are all EuroLeague. Like those major cities are EuroLeague. Like Paris, most likely is going to be EuroLeague real soon. London, EuroLeague real soon. Like these teams, like some cities are small and they're still EuroLeague, but like they work their way up. So that's why they're stamped in that. But like they're starting to realize like to get more revenue and stuff like that. People will travel to go to Paris to watch these teams play.
Sure.
Like the rivalries. I don't know if you've ever seen videos of what EuroLeague basketball is like, but like some of these games you see are legit insane.
Really?
Like Greece rivalry, if it's like Panathinaikos is one of the teams. If they play Olympiacos, like I heard those games are legit off the chain. Like people with flair going crazy, talking crazy, smoking, drinking, throwing stuff.
I'm weird.
Like I've seen stories of what like you see it on like people's YouTube or other podcasts and stuff like that. They talk about it. It's like, man, that atmosphere is ridiculous. Like before the season started this year, I remember they had in Serbia there was a Partizan played somebody in a preseason game, and they played outside. They just played outside.
I think I might have seen a video on Instagram.
Dog, they played outside and it was sold out. They got some dude had a drone flying around while they're playing to show what the atmosphere like, flares. It looks like something.
That's insane.
Oh, that is probably also a good thing about playing like EuroLeague. But like NBA has its perks. Like one, you're staying at home.
Yeah.
You're getting paid buku amount of money.
100%.
I mean, obviously it's gonna get taxed, but like at the end of the day, you're still a millionaire.
Yeah.
You're getting paid millions to sit on the bench. I'm cool with that. I'm in here playing with LeBron, and I'm just sitting on talking crazy to him in practice. Cool. Going to get LeBron drop triple dub like it ain't nothing at 40. Like those perks. Like one of the best perks though about like playing, being a professional, you just meet new people.
True.
You meet people. You meet like what different cultures are like. You meet where they're like. Not everybody of teams like luckily I've had former teammates from when I was in like prep school and the college. Like I recently just played together with my teammate from college this past year, and I played last year. So that's cool. Like you get to understand, you get to feel comfortable. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then other people, and you get other relationships and meet other like you form other bonds and like people you might be tied with for forever. Like I met a friend of mine in my old team. His name's Avery. Like he first comes in, like he's real quiet and getting to know people. And me and him just started chopping it up. We started playing Fortnite together, hanging out. Next thing you know, me and him, like we're not doing nothing. Hey, bro, you want to get some food? We go get food together. Like we just started chopping it up. Like he was like my dog for real. We started talking about basketball stuff, life, how his family's doing. His girl comes to see him. Like we start hanging out with him and his girl, like all that, bro. That's the stuff you don't like. That's the little stuff, That's great. Meet new people. You probably end up messing like fucking with them for a while. It's my dog.
100%.
Like that's one of the big perks. You meet new people. You get to know what they're like. It's just stuff like that, and that's just making connections in life. So
100%.
that's probably one of the big good things about being a professional basketball player.
I love it. That you don't hear too much about like the little things. I like that. That's the truth. I think that's a truth that like goes into almost all careers. Like I left the job like 4 months ago. Like one of my good friends, I shot him out Landon. I met him at my last job, and he just texted me this morning. So we like you and Avery, me and him, like we talk about at least probably once a week. And I know his situation, he knows my situation. So it's always good to meet new people.
Yeah, bro. That's one I can definitely say that's one of the best. You just meet and see what other people like from different areas and get to know each other. It's just
Definitely.
so.
Yes, sir. We got three more questions. Are you underpaid or overpaid? Thanks for getting back to it.
Underpaid tremendously,
Mm.
tremendously underpaid. But it's like I said, it's a business. At the end of the day, they don't view me as like a high paid player just yet. So it's all about like people will laugh about it, and I've seen people talk about it like, oh, you're going overseas for this amount of money. Like that's why people don't like talking about bread. Like,
Mm.
I don't mind talking about how much I make. I'm not gonna tell you but I know I'm underpaid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm underpaid, and like people like you got to start somewhere. Like
Yeah.
like I will say the way I started, I was gonna make a decent amount my first year, but some things happened when I first got here, and I had to get let go, and I went to a bottom team, and I was making $500 a month.
Oh, so is 500 like livable in like Poland, or is it kind of like okay, it is?
Poland, it's very livable. Okay, for sure.
Okay.
Going back home though,
Yeah.
your boy was struggling. I will tell you, I was hustling my way around wherever I was. I think I was in Myrtle Beach. I was over there. I was a bartender. I was an Uber driver. I was doing everything just to make some bread, dog.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
And like, but that first year I made like 500 a month. That is terrible. Like, I could just go home and like work at McDonald's and I'll make like a decent amount a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, but I'm chasing something.
100%.
Dream I'm chasing. I have aspirations. Like, that's what about being an athlete is, or sticking to it. Like, just being determined and fighting through adversity. Like when I first became a professional, I came in with an injury and just things didn't work out with the club. And like, that's why I got sent down and I got paid the amount I was getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously I get paid a lot more now, but I still think I'm underpaid. Yeah. I still have my dreams and aspirations. I still think one day I can make it to the NBA if I keep working hard and I keep my head down and I make connections, make friends, start figuring out how to get in there. I just like this past summer I played in the Big Three.
Like, okay, nice.
He was Big Three. Like I did a tryout. That's how I got into the Big Three.
Okay.
One of the former NBA player, he's a captain on there, Rashard Lewis. Like me, cool dude. Shout out to Rashard. Like he brought me in. They brought me in over there to play, and I ain't doing too much, but like getting in there, get some recognition.
Definitely.
I got a little more bread from that. Help me for the rest of the summer where I didn't have to like work Uber. I was Ubering trying to get by this past summer as well. Just hustling. That's all it is. Just hustling. At the end of the day, us athletes, like if we're not getting what we think we're getting, like I feel like I should get a lot more. I'm not gonna say how much.
Yeah.
I just know I should be getting a lot more for sure. I'm definitely underpaid. But it all starts. It's a process. This thing like. If you're going to start off making like whatever $1,500 a month for your first, second year, you working your way up. But if you got to be killing, you got to work hard, you got to do your job, and then you got to have a good agent at the end of the day.
Definitely.
Okay. Put you on the other teams, a little more bread, fight for your money. So like that's the thing here. I'm still fighting for what I think I deserve. Like I remember when I first signed to the other team who was going to be Champions League, and they just won the whole thing last year in Poland. Like they were champions. Like they were looking like, why are they signing this guy? Because I played second division Poland. Because like I said, I was working my way up. Like I had to reset my whole career. Like I went from top league Poland to second league. And then I went to the G League, but I was in, like people would say I was in there for a cup of coffee. I didn't do nothing. I was in there for a cup of coffee, left, did nothing, came out of it, went back to second league Poland. Like I mean, I killed it. I could do whatever I wanted. Like, I could play. I could. I was getting to it.
Yeah.
I had a really scary injury. At the time, I didn't think it was scary, but now that I look at it, it was a scary injury. I'm good now. That was the only scary injury I've ever had, and it wasn't like anything like body, like my knees or anything. It was my lungs. So, you know,
Oh man.
it was kind of a crazy time. I didn't really think too much of it. I thought I was straight, but turned out I wasn't. But I'm all healthy
Mm,
now. Shout out to God.
nice.
But like if it wasn't for that, like my numbers, I would have won MVP easily, no doubt about it. Like I
Mm,
was doing whatever I wanted in that league. I'm telling you. And like when I got to the top league here now, here, like they were looking at like, why is he like the trolls were like, why do they want to go see him? Like why do we want to go see him? He's nobody. Why is he asking for this much bread? Like he's coming from second league. He's not whatever LeBron out here to
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
For the first 5 months, I really wasn't playing over there, and I come to the new team I'm on now, and like I'm starting to play more. And like our first game we played the number one team in Poland. Like we lost, but I had a decent game, and like that's what people were looking. I saw they were saying like, oh, this kid can actually play. Like I had like 3 dunks. Like I got
Oh,
a dunk. I shot the ball pretty well from two. I didn't shoot it well from three or the free throw line, which is something I'm not mad about, but we'd be all right.
yeah.
Gotta work on your game. Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
but it was like people realize, hey, you can play. And the next game is just starting to get low, just getting better and better. Like
Yeah.
last game, I shot the ball well from three. I was
Nice.
still doing little stuff. Unfortunately, we lost. It was a tough game, lost by 2.
Yeah.
Just the shot didn't fall at the last second, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's just you got to build your way up to get what you want to feel like, hey, I deserve this amount.
Definitely.
When I knew I was coming to second league or top league, like I knew the amount I wanted, and when I asked for the amount, they were like, "What?" They're like, "You want what?" Nah, we'll give you this, and I was like, "Nah, again, I want a little more," and they're like, "Nah,"
Mm,
stuff like that, those type
yeah.
of business side of stuff, and to answer the question, yes, I'm definitely underpaid.
Okay. Hey, but you said like it's a work in progress, and we all work into what we feel we're worth, when we know we're worth, not what we feel we're worth.
Exactly.
What's one person, book, or event that changed your life for the better?
Ah, man, so many people I could name that helped me along this journey. Book, or event. Dog, I can't even tell you. There's so many events. I don't read. Like I said,
You good?
I don't read books. As soon as I get off this, I'm probably gonna play Fortnite or something with my
Hey,
boy.
you good? You good? I play Madden almost every day, so you
That's what
good.
I'm saying, man. I'm just dog, but I will say, like, I've read a few books, which is surprising to some people, but. I've read like a few books. I've read Relentless by Tim Grover. The,
Okay, yeah.
the book about I'm pretty like Michael Jordan. He's Michael Jordan's trainer. He was
Okay.
Michael Jordan when Mike was coming up in the league and Mike was getting beat up by the Pistons. He started getting a private trainer and that was his trainer. And like Tim Grover and Mike worked out together and Tim just writes about his time with Mike. He writes about his time with Kobe a little bit and Dwayne
Mhm.
Wade. And like the different stuff from there. And like from what I remember, like when it was one summer, it was me, and my boy Eli from my first year at Coastal. Me and him still keep in touch all the time. I remember him and my strength trainer PC. We're all talking like because in the book it references cleaners, cleaners. What is it? There's cleaners. I remember cleaners one of the main ones. Jesus, I wish I remember because I haven't read the book in so long. But one of them was like a cleaner. It's like pretty much a doer. It's something in the regards of somebody who's gonna do it no matter what. You don't gotta ask them. And then another guy is like, hey, I'll do it if it's convenient for me. And
Yeah.
then another guy is like, I'm just gonna do it when I feel like it. It's like three levels of what it was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the cleaner was like the top guy.
Yeah.
And me, Eli, and my strength trainer PC, we would always talk about like who's a cleaner and who's not a cleaner, who's just like the middle guy or the bottom guy. And
Mm.
my buddy Eli's like, yeah, I'm a cleaner. I'm gonna do my job. Like, you're not a cleaner. I'm a cleaner. Type of thing like that. That's one thing from Relentless. And I read my basketball skills trainer, Colin Stevens. He's made a few books. He recently, it's been almost a year, I think, since he dropped this last one called "Make Your Mark." It talks about, it's really how do you say? It's really a motivational book, I would say.
Yeah.
Definitely a big motivational book for me. And I like last year I was going through a lot of, being a professional athlete, you go through some struggles, you hit some lows and some highs. I was going through a little bit of a low, and I was reading his book,
Yeah.
getting a little like motivation and like reading some aspirations and stuff on his book. And like I remember I texted him one day, like, dog, I was going through a little rough patch right there. I read this little section in your book, and I was like, dog, this is crazy. Like, this is for real. Like, what I'm feeling like I'm going through right now is a rough patch that's stuck
Yeah.
through. And like, it's a really good book. I recommend it for you. Colin Stevens is the
Okay.
guy, trainer's name. He made a book called Make Your Mark. I love the book. It's not absurdly long. I think it's maybe tops 200 pages.
Okay.
And it gives you different aspects on different people and how they made their mark in life and like how where they started from to who they are. I think there's one. It's obviously Michael Jordan's one of them. I definitely remember that. Walt Disney.
Okay. Yeah.
Some lady who made spandex.
Okay.
Who created the spandex, and then it's a little bit about Colin and his relationship with his wife and stuff like that. And it was a really good talk about that. And like that was one book that definitely helped me in my rough patch last year when I was going through some, little anxiety and little struggles mentally and
Nice.
stuff. Person, I can't name. There's too many people, dog.
Yeah.
I got my trainer Colin.
Yeah.
I got my mom. I got my older brother. I got my friends who are in my corner. There's so many people I can name, man. But like those are definitely the three. The family's always number one, but like
Yeah.
I can't say one person is the reason why this is happening. Like
Definitely.
it's just there's so many people I got to give credit to, but I definitely say probably the top three, probably those three, probably my brother, my trainer Colin, and my mom.
I love it.
I do it. Event, event. I can't really call it no event, dog. It's just sports, man. It just comes
Yeah.
with it. There's so many events. I just when I said I'd do it, man, I don't know. I was just determined to do it, man. I just knew I was gonna be a professional athlete because I just didn't like school. I didn't want to. No offense to people who do it, I just couldn't
Yeah.
sit behind a desk or I couldn't be at home on the computer. I couldn't just Only thing I wish I could do is be a streamer and just stream a game because I think
Hey.
at it, I think I can make some good money, but like I'm just too lazy. I don't want to get all.
I'm like, you definitely can do that.
I'm lazy, real lazy. The thing I'm passionate about is basketball. And that's it.
True.
Like I got a plan for what I'm gonna do in the future when it's all said and done. But
Nice.
I can make some easy bread, just be a streamer.
Yeah.
Sit on my ass and just play the game and just make people laugh or make some plays on TV and whatever.
Streamer is definitely, I think, like everybody's dream job. It's one of my dream jobs, but like it's so hard to be a streamer. Like,
hey, shout out! It's streamers one of them for sure. There's some other jobs out there I'm not even gonna name that are really crazy. You don't even gotta do. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about.
oh nah, yeah, 100, yeah, that's 110%. Those are like the not even trying, but you're
I do not just money. Yeah, not gonna say it.
Oh, weak. Oh,
PP for
yeah. Oh, I think they got it too. They got it.
Yeah. But yeah, man, just being professional. Those are the too many events. I can't really call it, but
it's all good. Last question. It's been a great interview. Last question. Let's say a young hooper, maybe like, let's say like 14, 15, 16. They watch this interview and they're like, hey, I want to play D1 basketball, JUCO, or go play in like Europe or Euro League, Champion League. What's the advice that you give them at that age? Like let's say 4, or even like someone that's like 22, like they still playing last year college basketball. Like what's the advice you give them to get where you're at currently?
my first question was gonna be how bad do you want it? It's just like, do you want it just cause? Do you want it just cause like, hey, it's cool to be like this stuff, be a professional athlete, or do you want it because like you really love the game, you want to make something of yourself, you want to change you and your family's life? Because you really can if you just put your head down. Like people think like we're athletes and we're like, oh, you make this much money, why are you complaining about this and this? Like, dog, we go through the same stuff y'all go through. We're human at the end of the day. Like, sometimes when we see these celebrities and this other stuff that goes on, we think like they're robots or something. Like they don't got no emotion, they just do whatever. I'm sure they're human too. And sometimes I feel like, yeah, like I don't know what they're like in person. They probably are maybe robotic.
Yeah.
No, but like that's what it becomes when you're an athlete. You find yourself a routine and you just stick to it and you grind to it. You don't change it and you become very robotic. And that's why some people, when they meet athletes, some of them might be, dickheads or assholes because like that's just their nature. Like they got to be locked in. Like I've heard stories how Michael Jordan isn't really a nice, approachable guy. And then I've heard stories that okay, he is. He's okay guy if you get to know him, but
Yeah.
his if you've everybody's seen his documentary, I hope.
Yeah.
Whoever you watch, if you see it, I hope you've seen it. If you haven't, go watch it. It's very
It's
inspirational,
fire.
fire. But like he's legit. That's just who he is.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna be on your ass at all times. He's talking crazy. He's talking shit. He's competitive. It's just his nature. That's
100%.
just how some athletes are just competitive. They're just dickheads,
Yeah.
assholes. Sometimes I come off like that. People say I come off like And and I'm like, damn, I don't want to be that type of person. I feel like I'm trying to be a nice guy, but like, and that's where I'm starting to, the humbleness is taking over, and that's why I feel like sometimes I struggle because like instead of being a nice humble guy, I should be very straight to it, like get to work, get in, get out type of thing.
Yeah.
But to my advice for a 14-year-old man, just enjoy your adolescence for sure. You don't gotta absurdly focus on basketball because at the end of the day, if you love it, you know exactly you're just gonna keep playing it.
Yeah.
But keep your head down, enjoy your little adolescence, work hard, do your part in high school. But if you're trying to be like one and done, like straight out of college, you go straight to NBA, man, you gotta how bad do you want it, man? It's like the same question I asked the 22-year-old. How bad do you want it? You gotta work hard. Like the people think when these athletes say you gotta work hard, it's just we're just saying it because you gotta work. You legit have to sit down and focus and go
But
in there and have a reason why you're working out. Like, why am I working out today? What am I working on? And am I gonna get better? You don't go in there just to shoot. Like sometimes those good habits build though. Like you just go in there just to shoot. Like it's a good habit to have. Go in there and get moving.
but
And but when it comes to like really trying to make it and really, it's really hard out here, dog. Like it's not easy. Like Polish league, it's a decent league. It's not the best. It's not your league.
yeah.
It's a decent league, and if you play well here, you can make your way over there eventually.
Facts.
And like you really gotta work hard. Like it takes a lot of determination and focus, and sometimes having people in your corner who can help you out. Like you really gotta. Where I've come to realize that in my years, and I would like if I could go back to being like 17, 18, like right before, like in that weird little area in high school where the recruiting for basketball gets really big,
Yeah.
I would have took it way more serious. I would have been like in the gym. I would have started maybe a year or two earlier. Like, work. You got to work your tail off. You got to be focused. You got to, like, you don't got to start hitting the weights or nothing. Like, you just
Yeah.
got to work on your game. If you want to if you want to get bigger, you can. Like, that's a part of it too. Like, you got to be physically strong. Like, I was, if you remember me in high school, I was a little white kid who was running around doing stuff. I was just an athlete.
Yeah.
And I went to college and I went to prep school. Prep school helped me out a little bit. Once I got to college, it's when you start realizing, oh, his shoulders are starting to round a little bit. Like he's got a little muscle on. Like I used to weigh when I graduated high school, I weighed one.
Oh man, you was like 6 foot. How tall? You was 6 foot what?
I was right, or I think I grew maybe half an inch after high school. I was already like 6'3", pushing 6'4". I'm probably
Yeah.
4 in shoes. I'm like 6'5". right? So I was 170 in high school. I remember that. I was a skinny little white boy just running around, getting up and down the court, man.
Yeah.
And it's you get to college and you start lifting weights and this instead. And I went from 170 to where I'm at now. I'm right at 200. Like I'm sitting around
Easy.
doing like 195 when it's just a lot more lean muscle. It's just
Easy.
you can start doing that if you want, but like man, hard work is what it's gonna take to become a professional athlete, and you got to be determined and you got to be mentally locked in because this stuff it gets real hard sometimes. Like it gets real stagnant, it gets real repetitive, and it's real like ugh, like why do I want to go shoot again today? I just shot yesterday 3 hours.
Yeah.
You got to do it. Like Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player ever. Is the greatest basketball player ever. LeBron is he's had the greatest career ever.
Yeah.
Like he's best career, longevity. He's dominant as ever. Like he's like dog. They put in crazy work. Like Jordan, we didn't get to see. He didn't give us like any real pointers. Like he would talk about it and like
Yeah.
he would say some stuff, but like if I'm a big Kobe fan. I've become a big Kobe fan in once he started to retire more. I watched him when I was a kid for sure, but I wasn't into
Yeah.
basketball until
Mhm.
my later years, and I started watching him as I started getting more into basketball. I'm like Kobe gets to it, and
Yeah.
Kobe. R.I.P. Kobe, but like you can see all these videos and like determination videos. Like I remember he won an Oscar for his little short story. Like
Yeah.
that little short story was so inspiring. It's
Definitely.
crazy. Like he was giving out the pointers. Like he was doing like because obviously back then we didn't have social media,
Yeah.
and Jordan didn't have social media, so he couldn't really go out there and tell people like what they need to do. But he probably still gave his ones and twos like what you should do. But like Kobe, like really went in depth. And he wants to help people. Like he's trying to give you the blueprint. Like boom, like you gotta do this and that. It's just not easy. You
Yeah.
gotta weather the storm sometimes. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey there.
Mhm.
One
Yeah.
thing I always talk about. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey with it. And Kobe's journey, if we saw through the years, was crazy.
100%. It
Like
was.
beginning, he was winning, and for like 6, 7 years, was losing. But he's
Yeah.
in his prime, killing. And then he gets towards the end of his career, he's killing again. He started winning, and they were good, and then he got hurt, and then
Yeah.
just became old, and it just I remember him talking about. He's like, can I go through this again? All that hard work I put through. Like I'm 36. How am I gonna be? How am I gonna be just as good as this 30-year-old LeBron?
Yeah.
No, like LeBron now is like legit. Like the his prime has been for a while. Still athletic, but like when you get older and you've been in the game for so long, it starts becoming real like chess, and it starts becoming real easy. Oh, you're gonna press me, my guy's open here. Oh, you're gonna attack me on the pick and roll. The guy gonna skip it over here. He's gonna skip it there. Like
Yep.
it's all a chess game. LeBron is a real mind game. It's like that's why you got the mental side of basketball is tough. But man, at the end of the day, the biggest thing I could say for somebody who's 14, 22, man, you really gotta lock in and work hard and stay down and keep to it. It's gonna get better. For the 22-year-old, it's you keep working, it might get better. I got a friend who's a D3 player. Shout out Dwayne. And
Nice.
he's overseas now. I
Okay.
remember he played basketball just like all of us in high school. He wasn't the best, but he always worked hard. He was a hard worker, and that's all he remembered. That's all he would talk about was being a hard worker.
Yeah.
He didn't go the route I did. I went prep school. I went D1. I went Division 1.
Yeah.
I think he went prep school as well, if I'm not mistaken, but he didn't go D1. He went D3. He did decently well in D3. It was probably tough there. He didn't do nothing crazy from what I remember,
Yeah.
but I kept up with him, and like from going D3 to NBA, you gotta be putting up some crazy numbers, and I'm no
Yeah.
offense to him, but I don't think he was doing that.
Yeah.
And but he was like, "I'll make it to the NBA." Boom, bada bing. And, it's really hard to do that, but he stayed down. He
Yeah.
put his head down. I think he's the same age as me, maybe a year younger, if anything. And he just kept his head down, just working his tail off, going to these professional camps, asking people for help online. I can remember one time I told him he should go to this camp, it might help him out, type of thing. And he wasn't scared of asking for help. Like, nowadays people might be scared to ask for some help because it's not like a thing to do. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to feel vulnerable and ask for help. But
Yeah.
that's like one of the big stories, and I'm very inspired by him for real. Like, he legit worked his tail off. He was like, oh, like, NBA might not happen. Oh, D3 to overseas now is his thing, right? Going to professional, get my first professional contract.
Yeah.
So he finally, I don't know how it happened. I never asked him because it just recently started. He just recently got over here. I think he's in Georgia, the country Georgia, right?
Oh wow. Yeah.
And he's working his tail off. And he got over here on, like, I want to see, a trial period, probably something like that. He killed his first, like, 4 games, like, going crazy. I'm looking at his stats like, oh, he's hooping. Like 20 something a game, boards, rebounds, all this. He's an energy guy, and he works his tail. And that's one thing about, like, basketball. If you're not, you got to do something. You got to be energy guy. You got to get buckets. You got to play defense. You got to be something. He works his tail off, and he's an energy guy, and you see it coming to fruition. Like, he's got hella confidence, I bet. And I wish him the best. He's killing it right now. He just signed to the team in Georgia, and I want to give him a shout out. Like, he made it. He made it to be a professional basketball player, and he stayed down, and I'm very happy for him.
Nice. Shout out Dwayne.
Yeah.
Man, this has been an amazing interview. I think this was my longest one, probably like 20 episodes, but it's been good.
I apologize for rambling. I got nervous like 3-4 I lost my concentration.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
Once I got comfortable, man. It was a great time, and I really appreciate you letting me come on.
Oh,
give a little bit of knowledge on what I do.
Yes, sir. Give some last words and any shout outs if you want any shout outs or anything. Any last words for folks?
I know shout outs, just shout out to you. Shout out to you. Now your podcast does numbers, and
appreciate you.
Hope me and this podcast being on can give you some more people to come in and come watch, and I'll definitely repost everything, tell people to watch and listen.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, man, just shout out all my hoopers overseas who are getting to it, trying to make it work, and trying to build something. And if you still got the dreams going to the league, I'm right there with you. Stay down, keep working hard.
Thank you, Art. Everyone that's still tuned in, please comment, like, and subscribe. You have a nice night.